Cool beans. Okay, let's start seated together. Whatever that means for you this morning. I have quite a bit of detritus here today, apparently. You can't see it, which is good, right? That's the beauty of a camera. You can't see the chaos, the holiday chaos that's happening behind the camera. Let's take the heels of the hands to the upper thighs, as we always do. So my idea for this class was to give you well, if you're celebrating Hanukkah, a mid-holiday, or if you're someone who celebrates Christmas, a pre-holiday practice that helps you kind of feel a little more centered, a little more grounded. We're going to work everything, kind of that internal massage type of class that I do sometimes. So that's what we'll do, but we'll have special awareness in the low back, the abdominal wall, and the shoulders. Let's take it side to side, pressing in the heel of one hand, leaning away, turning to look up towards the sky. Oh, it's like a ringing out, so delicious. And then over to the other side. Oh, back and forth as it feels good to you. So nice to come to these familiar actions. I look forward to them. Even when I'm doing my own practice, I do these, and it's always just like, oh, so good. Nice. And coming to upright a couple of times, you slide the heels of the hands from the hip towards the knee, really elongating the thigh muscle. You're in charge of how much or how little pressure you put into the thighs here. I quite enjoy quite a lot of pressure. Maybe you need to be a little lighter. Maybe you're oscillating between not a lot and a lot. Gorgeous. And then let's take the hands to the side ribs. Let's lift ourselves up and out of the bowl of the pelvis. Just enjoy for a moment that length that you're maintaining, and then turning a little side to side, finding our revolution, if you will. How far can you go? I find some days are different, right? I start to twist and I'm like, oh, there's a little extra, or there's a little less. And then coming back to neutral, let's inhale the arms up in a wide V. Arms are just above the horizon line. Tailbone is heavy. You're stretching through all 10 fingers. And then I want you to lift your chin, but without shortening the back of the neck. So it's like you're lifting up and over something. You might find that the sternum wants to come even a little more forward. And then think about drawing your thumbs towards the wall behind you. Shoulder blades towards each other. Breathing here, stretching, stretching. One more deep inhale, maybe the arms lift a little bit more, and then as you exhale, float the hands down. Now it's gotten quite warm where I am, perhaps the same is true where you are. So if it is warm and you're not feeling chilled, you're welcome to leave the palms upright and open on your thighs. If you're feeling chilled, or if you've just been feeling overwhelmed, then go ahead and turn the palms of the hands down. And then we'll close the eyes if you feel safe and comfortable to do so. So closing the eyes, going inside, beginning to investigate how it is, right? I often ask those questions first thing and we don't always have the information. But now dig deep, see if there is information. Sometimes there's nothing. Right? But sometimes as we close the eyes and we sort of do our little weeble wobble routine, leaning left, right, forward, back, maybe a little circle, we're noticing how the body truly feels. How did it survive our night's sleep? Did we have a good night's sleep? Was it interrupted? We don't know. We've got to determine. Then eventually any little actions come to stillness, the tailbone gets very heavy. And as I was saying earlier, we're addressing the core by zipping up the jeans and buttoning them, right? So that's the pubic bone to belly button and then navel to spine. But what I don't want you to do, I don't want you to push your tailbone forward. This isn't about rocking onto the back of the hips, although that can feel quite good. Instead, it's about staying upright. Gorgeous. Then lift from the base of the skull. Shoulder blades down the back. Let the sternum lift and spread. Collarbones broad. Arm bones heavy, heavy, heavy. Balance the skull on top of the stalk of the spine, right? When we look at a flower, it's at the stalk of the stem. We have a similar action. We've got, the dandelion head of the skull at the very top. And then relax the jaw, drop the bottom jaw away from the top jaw, create space in the mouth. If you can breathe through the nose easily, do that. Keep the lips sealed, but of course, don't suffocate. If you have to breathe through the mouth, do it. Spread cheekbones, soften eyes, relax the forehead. Let go of the mask of personality, right? This can be, for many, a time of year where we're very social, maybe more social than we're used to. And that means a lot of work for the face, but no one ever thinks about it, right? You're talking and making more facial expressions than usual, perhaps. So let go of all the tension in the face. Soften the ears and find the breath. Notice that you're breathing. Maybe that's where our gratitude lies first this morning. Gratitude for this next breath, this next breath, this next breath. How lucky are we that we woke up this morning? How lucky are we that we are still breathing? See if all of your awareness could be in the breath for another few moments. Let everything else go. Any worries, any concerns, any things occupying your mind, let them go. From here, let's take the hands together in front of the heart. Palm against palm, fingers elongated, lift the sternum to the base of the thumbs, broaden the collarbones. Let's prepare for sound. We'll chant the sound of Om 3 times, and then we'll invocate. Go ahead, exhale, fully let go of all the breath you currently have. Then inhale fully to begin. Om Sahana Bhavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saha Viryam Karavavahai, Tejasvina Vaditamasdu, Ma Vidvashavahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, let the chin come towards the chest. Take a moment, investigate. As always, we want to know, how is it now? How is it now? Is there anything I am needing here? Nice. On another exhale, you let the hands fall to the lap. As you inhale, you start to flutter the eyelids open, taking in form and color and space. And then as you feel ready, you raise the gaze. And as we've been doing these last several weeks, I want you to look wide. If you have windows to look out the windows. Go wide before we go narrow. We want to see what's out there aside from what's in here, right? Beautiful. Then when you feel ready, let's unpack the legs. Use the hands to help if you've been cross-legged. Iron out the legs from root to shoot, from hip to ankle. Be vigorous if you need it. It's much like pushing toothpaste down the tube, cuffing the leg from hip to ankle. Maybe a little forward bend comes, maybe not. We're exploring, we're curious as always. Nice. Then as you feel ready, hands behind beside. We're going to lift and spread the collarbones and then point and flex the feet. Relax the jaw. That's been a tight spot for me lately. I don't know about you, and I think it has something to do with being more social and seeing more people as the holidays come around. Then coming to the center of the heel, we invert the foot, inner edge forward, outer edge forward. Breathe, inner edge forward, outer edge forward. Nice, yes. Gorgeous. Then coming to neutral, we're going to squeeze and release the toes. Squeeze and release the toes. Feels nice not to have socks on for this. The last several weeks we've been so cold. Couldn't go without socks this early in the class. Nice. And then big toe up, 4 toes down like you're going to hitchhike with your feet. Big toe forward, 4 toes back. Breathe, inhale, exhale. Now go back and forth a few times. Nice. And then alternate. Why not? Do you have the toe dexterity that you think you have? You should feel like you're at least in charge of the big toe and the 4 toes. Being in charge of the other ones kind of autonomously is hard. Like, I don't know that I could move my middle toe by itself. Oh, kind of. It took a little doing. Maybe you try that. See if you can wave your middle toe a little bit. Oh, I can do it on the right foot. Oh, now all 4 toes went together. All right. Let's let that go. We'll leave impossible things for after the holidays. Take the legs wide, heels of the hands come to the top of the thighs. Just a little roly-poly action to loosen any tension in the hips. Nice. And then scoop up underneath the knees. Bring the soles of the feet together. This doesn't need to be the perfect Baddha Konasana. I want to use it to work with the spine. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. If you need extra height under your hips, you absolutely can take it. But here's where we're going. So I've got my hands on my ankles. I'm in Baddha Konasana. And then I'm going to take cat and cow in the spine. So I hold onto the ankles, and as I inhale, I lift the chest and try to arch the spine as best I can. Then as I exhale, I do rock back onto my pelvis. Maybe my hands slide to my knees. And so we're just going a little back and forth. And indeed, if you're feeling a lot of tightness in the spine, this might be very slow. I definitely recommend being up on height for this. I know I came off my height to turn sideways. But you're still up on height. You might have decided to take more height. That might make it feel easier. Just seeing what's available. And then we haven't done this in a while, but I think it's really important. Let's see if any intuitive movement starts to happen. So maybe you're even starting to move around in a circle. Maybe you want to move from side to side, and this can happen at either end of this pattern. It can happen somewhere in between. Maybe a little forward bend starts to go. Anything is possible here. I don't want you to get too bogged down in the parameters, and just allow yourself, if you had nothing else to do and no one else to tell you to do it, what would you do here? Yeah, anything goes. It can feel so nice just to really listen. Do you want to linger in one shape for a few breaths? Might look like something completely weird. That's okay. If any yoga teacher celebrates weirdness, it's me. Gorgeous. And then when you feel mostly complete, like everything got its due, everything got what it needed, then you'll come back to neutral. Hands will come to the outer thighs again. We'll take the feet wide, and now just let the knees go side to side. This always feels like a nice complement to that Baddha Konasana kind of freestyle moment that we had. Now we just take the knees side to side. Delicious. All right, when you feel ready, chest opener over blanket and block. Rolling a little old school here today. I'm going to roll up my blanket nice and tight and take it horizontal across the mat. Flat block for the head. And then we're coming to lay down. Bottom tip of the shoulder blades are on that blanket. Head is on the block. Arms are to the side. Now, adjust in any way you need to adjust to feel comfortable here. So some folks are going to need that blanket to be an inch up or an inch down. I highly recommend you kind of roll around for a moment or two to find the sweet spot. And sometimes that sweet spot doesn't quite feel so sweet, but it feels productive, right? Gorgeous. And then arms in a T shape, backs of the hands are on the floor. If my low back was feeling tight or compromised today, I would absolutely keep my knees bent, take my feet to the edges of the mat, and turn my big toes towards each other, letting the knees fall into each other. This is a nice low back recovery position. Not a lot of effort required. You're just letting the legs rest on one another. Now, if my low back was feeling fine, I want to go for it, then I would extend the legs one at a time. The feet act like they've touched a wall, so there's a light flex there. And then inner thighs roll towards the floor, big toes roll towards each other. So you're getting a similar spreading of the low back, but it's a little more active. If you get here and you're like, it's not working today, then definitely go back to the bent knee variation. Now, everyone can zip up the jeans, so pubic bone to belly button, and button the jeans, navel to spine, right? This gives us support through the abdominal wall. It lengthens the tailbone, low back. We're going to maintain that as we turn the lower frontal ribs down towards the earth beneath us. This helps to align the sternum with the pelvis. Then you're welcome to keep the arms out to the side. Everyone's going to draw the chin to the chest. If the neck and shoulders have been feeling very tight, you might take the head a little side to side. It's a really nice way to work because we've got that little bit of traction from the block. Then head comes back to neutral. Let's lift the arms to the sky. Take opposite hand to opposite forearm, and then either take the forearms clear over the crown of the head to rest on that block, or rest the forearms on the forehead. Then you can change how it feels by taking the hands closer to the elbow or closer to the wrist or anywhere in between. And then the breath is here to help us expand in this pose. So inhaling, expansion, exhaling, softening. Allowing ourselves to kind of soak here for a few moments. Don't let the chin lift too much. We want to keep the back of the neck nice and long. Then make a mental note which forearm is on top. Inhale, reach the arms behind you, palms of the hands face each other. Exhale, fold the elbows again. Opposite forearm on top might mean you need different support. And then I always find when I switch arms that my chin lifts. Maybe you find that the same is true for you. Then we're breathing here. Nice. On the next exhalation, release the arms out and down to the sides, back into that T shape. Everyone bends the knees, taking the feet to the edges of the yoga mat. And then we're letting the knees and head go in opposition. So this can turn into whatever you need. If you need an upper back massage, maybe you're going up and down on that blanket, getting it into different sections of the thoracic spine. Others, the low back's feeling a little tight. That might mean that you linger on one side or the other, allowing there to be a little more spaciousness in the low back, right? Little opening through the inner groin, glute muscle, whatever you need here. Yeah, be free to be creative, very much like we were in our Baddha Konasana, kind of exploring things. Want you to bring that same energy here. There's no wrong answer as long as it doesn't hurt. Right? You're just trying to see, what does this body require of me today? You might be surprised. You might be doing any manner of things. Take another 30 seconds or so to complete an action. If you've done it on one side, you have to do it on the other side. And then roll all the way to one side. Use the hands. Help yourself up. Help yourself out. We're going to switch things around to do Supta Padangusthasana. We haven't done it in a while, so you're going to need a block and a strap nearby. We'll unroll the blanket and then fold it for the head. And then we come down to active rest. So my head and neck are supported, knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. My block and strap are nearby. We're not going to use them immediately, but we want them within easy reach. And then as you come down, you might end up picking up and replacing things because it's a sticky mat. And sometimes when we first lay down, things get stuck in weird places. So we want to make sure that everything is where we want it to be. Beautiful. From here, we'll take the head from side to side. Back of the neck is heavy. Back of the head is heavy. Nice. And then taking the head back to neutral on an exhalation, let's draw that right knee into the chest. Relax the shoulders down into the earth. You're either holding on over the shin or the hands are between the thigh and the calf muscle. And then for both the shoulders and the low back, we'll work like this. So make sure you're holding onto your leg with both hands. That's even if you folded the hands behind the thigh. And then on your next exhalation, you're going to let that right knee move to the right. It takes the left arm across the body. It takes the left arm across the body. And then some of you will find that you want to turn the head to the left. Now we don't want that left shoulder coming up towards the side of the head or the chin. So make sure that shoulder's being depressed away from the face. And we're breathing here, letting the weight of the leg take that arm across. Softening the belly. Relaxing the low back, the hip, the groin. Nice. Inhaling, coming back to neutral. Exhale, release that foot to the floor. Pause, notice. And then we'll do just that much to the second side. Exhaling that left knee into the chest, interlacing the hands over the shin, relaxing the shoulders. Take a deep inhale. And then as you exhale, the leg starts to drift to the left. You let it go as far as it wants to. Turn your head to the right if you want to. And then we're breathing. Again, that idea of inhaling spaciousness, exhaling softness. Nice. Inhaling to come back to neutral. Exhale, release the foot. Again, pause, notice. Right, that was our appetizer. Now let's go for the main course. I've got a flat block at the outer right hip. It's tucked in tight. If you feel like you need more support, maybe you're using a bolster. And then I'm drawing the right knee towards my chest. Strap goes over the ball of the foot, and then I'm extending that leg towards the sky. So here the main event is opening up the back of the knee, right? I'm dropping the back of the hip into the earth. I'm pressing the ball of the foot into the belt. Meanwhile, the back of the knee is yawning open. From here, extend the left leg onto the floor. If it needs to, move it to the left 2 inches. And then listen carefully. We're going to put both sides of the strap into the left hand. Just for now, you're going to take the right hand to the very top of the right thigh and push the right thigh away. So the heel of my hand is actually on my hip, right? The iliac crest, that front of the hip bone, and then I'm pushing it away. All the while, I'm still drawing the leg towards me gently, gently with that left arm, getting all the space we can. And then we'll switch hands. So now the right hand will take the strap, left arm reaches out to the left, palm of the hand is down. Inhale for length, exhale for action, taking that leg out and down to the right. Outer right foot is parallel to the floor. We're plugging the upper right arm bone into the shoulder socket. And then we're moving the tailbone towards the inner left heel. That means the outer right hip moves away from the outer right rib cage. And just as we've done in other poses this morning, we're going to draw the pubic bone to the belly button, draw the navel to the spine, turn the lower frontal ribs down. But we're also going to strongly press the back of the left leg into the ground. That's going to help you lengthen the back of the neck. Soften the throat, relax the eyes. Keep breathing here. And on your exhalation, let's take that right leg back up to neutral. We're switching hands. So now the left hand has the strap around the right foot one more time. Tuck your right thumb into your hip crease. Wrap the fingers around the outer hip. Now strongly press the back of the hip on the floor. When I do that, my right leg moves to the right a little bit. And then roll the outer right hip strongly away from the outer right rib cage. When I do that, my right leg turns out a little bit, almost like in ballet. Then maintaining all of that, let's take that right leg to the left any amount. For some of us, this is going to be a very small action. It does not take a lot to do a lot here. Others, it needs to be a little bit bigger. And I quite find that I like to go out and come in a few times. Did the back of the neck shorten? Could you open the back of that right knee just a little more? Yes, inhaling the leg back to neutral. Spread those straps out between both hands. We're going to take the leg a little towards us, a little away, a little towards us, a little away, and then release the leg from the strap. Both legs are on the ground. Give yourself an opportunity just to feel the very real difference from right to left. Nice deep inhale, full exhale. And then we'll switch the block to the second side, bending both knees. Right foot comes to the floor, left knee comes towards the chest, strap goes over the ball of the foot, and we lengthen. Beautiful. Take a moment, drop the back of the hip, lengthen the back of the neck, relax the shoulders down the back. Then as you feel ready, extend that right leg, move it to the right an inch or two, give yourself space to have a pelvis. Then both sides of the strap are in the right hand, left hand, just like we did on the first side. Left hand comes to the very top of the thigh. You push it away as you pull it towards you, right? It's a little push and pull. Deep inhale, full exhale. And then both straps go into the left hand. Right arm reaches out to the right, palm of the hand is down. Inhale, get long, exhale to move. Left leg goes down and out to the left. Outer left foot parallel to the floor. Upper left arm bone plugs into the shoulder socket, and we move the tailbone. When we move the tailbone, when we direct it towards that inner right heel, that whole left side of the body gets a little bit longer. And then navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button, turn the lower frontal ribs down, press the back of the right leg down. See how that lengthens the back of the neck. Then where is the breath in the body here? Finding the inhalation and the exhalation. One more deep inhale. Then as we exhale, take the leg back to neutral. Switch hands on the strap one more time. Thumb in the hip crease. Drop the back of the hip firmly. Roll the outer hip away. Then from there, maintaining all of that, how far can you take the leg? What needs to happen? Do you need to go in and out a few times? That can feel so useful. Gorgeous. And inhaling the leg back to neutral, spread the straps out. And this is it's not a fast action. You take the leg towards you, you take the leg away. You take the leg towards you, you take the leg away. Then you slip the foot out of the strap and lower the leg to the floor. Strap goes to the side. Pause here, just feel. Nice. Then exhale, draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a squeeze, little rocking from side to side. Hands on the bent knees, steer the knees around in a circle, a few times in one direction, a few times in the other. Gorgeous. Then the feet come to the floor and the hands go behind the back of the head. I want to work with the undulation pattern this morning on our back body, that cat and cow. We've already played around with it in Baddha Konasana, but I want to do it here. But it's very much a choose your own adventure situation. So as this pattern begins to develop and we start to go into more challenging variations, I want you to know that you can always go back to whatever variation felt supportive to you. Indeed, you might just stay with this very first part. You might be moving very slowly, or you might be going for it. You might feel like you have the gusto and the body for it today. So it starts super easy, you know it. As you inhale, you're going to tilt your tailbone towards the floor, and you're going to lift your chin. Your head slides in your hands as you look over your eyebrows. Then as you exhale, you tilt your tailbone towards the sky. Head stays heavy in the hands as you peel the upper torso away from the floor any amount. Then you inhale, tailbone down, chin lifts, you look over the eyebrows. Exhale, tailbone lifts, you peel the upper torso, and you look between the thighs. So this is version 1. You can make it as big or as small as you want. So you might be making these actions very tiny. You might just be lifting the head an inch off the earth. Others, you might be peeling the entirety of the shoulder blade off the ground to look between the thighs. Make sure if you're lifting the head that it stays very heavy in the hands. We're not cranking the neck. I like to wrap my elbows in towards the sides of the skull, and then I open the elbows wide as I come down. Remember, you are in charge of your experience here. We are going to add on. Next time you exhale, you're going to turn. So now you're directing your right elbow towards your outer left knee. The feet stay on the ground for now. The inhale remains the same. You come back to center, tailbone down, chin lifts. Exhale, coming up. Now it's left elbow towards right outer knee. Inhale, we return. So back and forth. Again, you're making it as big or not. You can absolutely keep the opposite elbow on the ground and just roll to direct the other elbow towards the outer opposite leg, right? You don't even need to lift up that high. You'll still get benefit here. You're still working the obliques and the transverse abdominal muscles. Others, you're really going for it, making it a bigger event. And then, of course, we can make it even bigger. Next time you come up, go ahead, take the opposite foot off the floor, bring the knee towards the elbow, elbow towards the knee. Inhale back to center. Exhale, opposite elbow, opposite knee. Inhale remains the same, tailbone down, chin lifts. And again, these might be very small actions. They might be very big. You might not be connecting, or maybe you are. Doesn't matter. Either way, we're just exploring. Soften the jaw, the teeth, the tongue. Okay, we're going to make it a little bit bigger. Next time you go to one side, you're going to reach opposite hand towards opposite foot. See if you can touch the outside toe. Then you inhale to come back down. Exhale, opposite hand towards opposite foot. It's like I'm tapping the outer edge of the foot if I can reach it. If not, maybe I'm just stretching in that direction. Still, the head remains heavy in the hand that's remaining behind. Gorgeous. Relax the throat. Nice. Final variation. When you go to come up, one leg extends towards the sky, the other leg extends out straight. Then you bend both knees to bring both feet down to the floor, head down, tailbone down, chin lifts. Then you exhale, extending both legs. Inhale to come back. All right, so we're just adding a little extra something. Again, you might be at some other variation from before. I like to flex the feet. Some people like to point the toes. It's really up to you. You could try both. See which one makes you happy. Nice. Couple more times either side. You got this. Okay, one more time either side. You can do anything one more time. Gorgeous. Then come on down, hug the knees into your chest. Once again, we rock a little side to side. Yes, hands on bent knees. Steer the knees around in a circle. A few times in one direction, a few times in the other. And then feet on the floor as wide as your mat. Arms out to the sides. Take the knees and head in opposition. Knees go right, head goes left. Knees go left, head goes right. Such a good job. And then as you feel ready, roll all the way to one side. Go ahead, bring yourself into table pose. And just because we can, let's do a little cat and cow here. So we visited it in a couple different shapes. Now this is the most traditional. Inhaling, lifting the tailbone, dropping the belly, lifting the gaze, stretching the abdominal wall. And then reverse it, navel to spine, tailbone and head down. Go back and forth at your own pace. Nice, really feeling the rhythm As always, not mechanical, methodical. And then to neutral spine, let's stretch the obliques, reach the crown of the head away from the tailbone. Inhale here. Exhale, wag the tail to the right, turn to look over the right shoulder, back through center, over to the other side. Yes, beautiful. Then from here, go ahead, take hold of the sides of your yoga mat. So I'm gripping the edges of the yoga mat with my hands. We're going to downward facing dog, but I really want you to start to stretch the yoga mat apart and then away from you, tucking the toes under and lift the hips up and back, and use those hands to really stretch the mat forward as you draw the heels back and down, thighs move back. Breathing here. Nice. It's nice to kind of use the hands this way. We're using that power. Nice. And then we'll walk the feet towards the hands, coming to our standing forward bend. Big toe ball mound, outer heel. Let the torso drape. Don't lock the knees. Let the torso go. You might even shake the head a little no, a little yes, a little maybe. Letting go of tension in the back of the neck. I even know some folks like to interlace their hands behind the back of the head here. Helps to give a little more release for the back of the skull. And then taking thumbs to the hip creases, hook the hips back to lengthen the spine. Big toe ball mound, outer heel. Inhale here. Exhale, navel to spine to come up and back. That's that action when we're lifting something. And actually, let's pretend. Go ahead, take a block, have it between your hands. We're just going to pretend it's not very heavy, I know. You're going to bend the knees and reach the block forward. See how my back is starting to round? I want you to instead draw navel to spine and lengthen the heart away from the belly button. Inhale here, and then exhale as you go to come up, right? And so that navel to spine, that exhale, really helps you to draw the abdominal wall up and in. And that's what we want to do when we're picking things up. Let's grab our other block. We're going to put this one block in between the upper thighs. I've got it so that the long edge of the block is parallel to the floor, smallest rectangle pointed forward. I'm squeezing the thin block between my thighs. It's as close to my pelvis as I can get it. Then I'll turn to the side so you can see. It's like we're going to pop the block out from behind us like we're a Pez dispenser, right? So we're squeezing the block from the greater trochanters. That's that bony outcropping on the side of the thigh. It's where I have my saddlebags. And then I'm pressing into that block and rolling it towards the wall behind you. The second block comes between the palms of the hands. Gorgeous. So we're keeping that. I know my sweatshirt makes it look like my lower frontal ribs are going forward. It's not true. The navel's moving back. I'm not locking my knees. I've got the wide block between my hands. We're going to inhale the arms up towards the sky. We're squeezing the inner thighs together, but you're still pressing down. Big toe ball mound, outer heel. Lift from the outer ribs. Lift, lift, lift. And then grip the sides of your block with your fingers. And I want you to try and pull the block apart. Right? So now we're pulling the block apart. Gorgeous. And then press the palms of the hands back into the block. Spread the fingers. We're going to do that 2 more times. Grip the fingers around the block. Imagine you were pulling the block apart. And then flatten the palms on the side of the block. Press the block like you're compressing it. Nice. And then bring the block down. Take the block out from between your thighs. Okay, now we're primed and ready for tree pose, for Vrksasana. If you're like me and you're in a room where the floor is very crooked, find a flat part of the floor. And then we're going to work like this. Our right foot is going to be our standing foot. Press into the heels, spread the toes, come to stand on that leg. Then we've got our options with the other leg. So take your hands to your hips. You're going to peel that left heel off the floor, turn the left knee out to the left, and bring the sole of the foot to the inner ankle. Tailbone is lengthening, navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button. Reach through the crown of the head. Shoulder blades move towards each other on the back body. Now you stay here, or you move the sole of that left foot to the inner calf. Or I know some of you can slide down, catch the ankle, and bring the foot into the upper inner thigh. Press the foot into the leg as you press the leg into the foot. Keep your hips squared to the wall in front of you. Now, from here, pubic bone to belly button. Nice. Navel to spine. Nice. Remember that pressing of the block between the thighs. Get that same action here wherever your foot is. Imagine you're working from the greater trochanter. And then hands come together in front of the heart. Beautiful. Yes. And then those that can, reach the arms up towards the sky. And then imagine you had an invisible block that was as big as wide as your hands are. Press the invisible block. Nice. And then pull the invisible block. Your arms won't actually move. This is all isometric. Press the invisible block. Pull the invisible block. Have you breathed in the last 5 seconds? Nice. Hands come back together to heart center. Nice. Hands release. Step the foot down. Walk around. Give yourself a moment. Right? I love that work for the shoulders of the isometric pressing and pulling. I think it's really informative. It's also very stabilizing. All right, last side. You're on your last leg. Isn't that brilliant? We're planting that left foot, spread the toes, coming to stand on that leg. Hands are at the hips. Peel that right foot off the floor, turn the knee out, start with the kickstand. Nice, navel to spine, pubic bone to belly button, reach through all the things you know. And then sole of the foot on the inner calf. Maybe you're still in kickstand, that's okay. And then those that can, catch the ankle, bring the foot up into the upper inner thigh. And then we're compacting wherever we are. We're thinking of taking the greater trochanters towards each other. That firms the pelvis, draws the perineum up into the body. And then square your hips to the wall in front of you. Bring the hands together in front of the heart. Lift the sternum, shoulder blades down, and then reach the arms towards the sky. They might be wide, it's okay. Nice, and then let's do it. Press the invisible block. Press the hands towards each other. They don't move, it's all isometric. And then pull the block apart. You might even make grippy fingers, that's okay. And then push the block. And then pull the block. Inhale, exhale, you've got this. And then hands come together in front of the heart. We turn that knee forward. We step out of the pose. Woo, walk around the room. Roll the shoulders. Good work, everybody. Really good work. Nice. Let's come down. Let's do an inversion before we go to Shavasana. So come on down. Have your 2 blocks nearby. Yeah, we're going to go up into our legs up the wall without the wall. So come down back onto your back body. You might choose to do 1 block. You might choose to do 2 blocks. You might choose to do tall blocks, although they're unstable. I like 2 flat blocks on top of each other. Maybe that's what your option is today. But you're going to come to lay down, nothing underneath the head and the neck this time. Press the feet, lift the hips, take your blocks underneath. Press the elbows down to really spread and dome the frontal plane of the body. Pause here, don't be in a hurry to take the legs up. You can either keep the elbows bent or you can rest the arms on the floor. I like palms of the hands up. Personally, I think it helps me to take my collarbones apart a little more. And then exhale the knees towards the chest. Inhale, press the feet up towards the sky. So here we are, back of the neck long, legs are absolutely perpendicular to the floor. I'm still pressing the outer arms down to help dome the chest. Navel is soft, legs are straight, feet are lightly flexed, gaze is at the toes. Then we're breathing here. Then exhaling, bending both knees together, bringing both feet to the floor. Press the feet down, lift the hips, take the blocks out, roll down one vertebra at a time. Nice. Before Shavasana, exhale the knees into the chest and a little rocking from side to side. Gorgeous. And then prepare. So if it's chilly where you are, you're feeling cold, definitely put socks on, put another layer on. I would take a blanket underneath the head, right? Nice support under the head and the neck. I might also, especially if the low back was feeling cranky, I would take my flat blocks underneath my upper thighs. I might cover up with another blanket. Be warm. But before you fully surrender into stillness, let's open the mouths wide, stick the tongue out, stretch the jaw, stretch the teeth, stretch the tongue, stretch the throat. Nice, stretch, stretch, stretch. And then draw the tongue back into the mouth. Bring just the lips back to touch. Then let go yourself completely. Let loose yourself completely. Let yourself rest here in stillness and silence, knowing now there's nothing to do. Now there's nothing to do. Letting one strand of your awareness come back to hear my voice. Notice if you have any inclination to move yet, you might not. And if you're not ready to move and you just want to stay right where you are, the good news is you absolutely can. Others, you might be ready to move or you're time bound in some way. And if that's you, I want you to start by deepening the breath. Deepening the breath, coming back to the surface of the body. Perhaps bringing little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. And then on an exhalation, draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a hug. Don't be in a hurry to pop up. Give yourself a hug. And then slowly roll to your right side. Pausing for a moment on the right side, taking in the earth beneath you. And then use the hands to push yourself back up to a seated position. Head is the last thing to arrive. Eyes are closed. Tailbone descending, base of skull ascending. Let's take the hands together in front of the heart. Palm against palm, fingers elongated. Lift the sternum to the base of the thumbs, broaden the collarbones, and on an exhalation, let the chin move forward, let the chin move down. We're bowing to the seat of the soul. We're bowing to that divine inner wellspring of kindness, compassion, patience, and joy. The light in me is deeply honored by your light, grateful for your practice, and humbled by your presence. And in case no one's told you yet today, I love you, and I'm convinced of your capacity to continue crafting a life worth living. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste. Good job, everybody. Well done.